Hi, guys.
Hey.
Howdy.
Congratulations, first of all, on selling out your show on Friday at Salem Horror Fest.
Oh, thank you.
From what I hear, the entire town is buzzing about it, and it sounds like you got a lot of fans in the area.
Yeah, yeah.
We're excited.
All right. So first of all, the first thing that I did want to ask you, because I had to look up who Saint Drogo was, like as a like patron saint and everything, and so patron saint of the unattractive and of coffee for some reason. Um, so like how did that come about, like this kind of folk tale that you've put together? How did that all come about?
We're trying to like kind of parallel how like Western religion kind of utilizes these like saints and these deities and how they keep their congregations together. Kind of paralleling that with like the gay community and kind of like the weird like just celebrity worship and kind of just like the money worship and I'm not sure how to explain it, but
Yeah.
um, so yeah, I don't want to give anything away, so I can't say too much. Like,
Yeah, because it
I don't
kind
know,
of, I see what you're saying. It kind of tunes into the end a little bit there.
yeah, we're trying
Yeah.
to word it carefully.
Yeah, we wanted to like I think obviously it's not a direct uh retelling of like the alleged story of the Saint Drogo via the Christian religion. But there were aspects about his story that we included. And we just thought it was funny that like the combo of things he's the patron saint of is also just it's like coffee, like flocks and sheep, the ugly, and like the stupid or something. I don't know, which is like very interesting combination of all things.
Cinematography is a key focus in this movie. We were just talking before, Mike, that like the camera work in this film is absolutely insane. This is I was surprised at just how gorgeous some of the scenes looked. What can you speak? Let's just say that. Can you speak a little bit about that and why this movie looks the way it does?
Yeah, I mean, I think we learned a lot when we made Death Drop Gorgeous, and I think one of the things we wanted to uh, up our game with is just like shot composition, and so we tapped a friend of ours named Kevin Bowden, who has a really sweet camera, and he helped a lot with the cinematography as well as Ryan Miller. I think the location itself sort of lends to the beauty of the shots. Like it's kind of hard to make P Town in the winter look ugly, so that definitely helped. A lot of the inspiration for some of the shots too, we referenced or like not maybe reference, but saw inspiration from a lot of like Renaissance paintings to go along with the theme. So some things were definitely like inspired by sort of that composition. So yeah,
Speaking of inspirations, I think this movie takes a lot from 70s horror, especially folk horror. I saw a lot of Don't Look Now and some Lovecraftian
yeah.
templates in there as well, and Wicker Man, a couple of other things. But what were your main inspirations for Saint Drogo?
I think you hit a lot of them.
Mhm.
There's a little bit of Hellraiser in there, a little bit of Rosemary's Baby in there, but all the other ones you named are kind of like what we're kind of shooting for, like the '70s folk horror.
Yeah, we love all. Yeah, we love Don't Look Now and the original Wicker Man, and Rosemary's Baby is definitely one of my favorites. So they all kind of like. It's weird because when we write, I think just the things we're taking in or inspired by just naturally like seep in. So it's weird to like after the fact reflect like what the inspirations were. I guess like I guess we don't actively go into a script and we're like, okay, this is going to be like our Wicker Man script. You know what I mean? But just we were watching it probably at the time, and it just kind of naturally happens that way.
Kind of inspired just by just folklore in general as well, just like cautionary tales from like mythology, or just some of my big influences too. So it was fun to just write like a kind of old school cautionary tale with a gross
Mm.
ass monster. So
Yeah, that the creature at the end. makeup effects. First of all, even in Death Drop Gorgeous, the makeup effects and everything in that were absolutely spectacular. So to watch the evolution now, like from that to this, is absolutely incredible. So kudos on that too to whoever your special effects people are. Um, I guess following up with sort of the cinematography, there's a lot of just creepy locations here too. Did you guys just get lucky? Like, I mean, the first one of the first scenes that I noticed was the creepy forest, the this sort of pull off the road
Yeah, yeah.
scene. Um, like, did you guys just luck out with creepy locations? Like, there's that, and then there's the like it looks like a burnt down thing on the beach.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
was that just pure luck, or were you guys scouting for these? Like,
We
where did these come from?
we scouted those. Oh, the forest. I mean, there was yeah, we scouted locations before we started shooting. Me, Brandon, and Ryan sort of drove down and like drove around the area. There's a lot of like weird, creepy beach forests that are like in P Town, but before you get into the actual town, that we really liked, that I knew would like set a tone. The ruins, I randomly like stumbled upon like an Instagram post that someone had, and I was like, oh my god, this is in Rhode Island. And then I sent it to the boys, and I was like, this like works really well. So yeah, yeah. So we did a lot more location scouting, and at least in regards to like the outdoor stuff, but some stuff we did just stumble upon, like that the graveyard scene where my character and Brandon's character have like sort of a blowout fight, that golden light, that we found that day, I think. Like we didn't know where we were shooting the scene, but we found that spot like a couple hours before. So some like scouting and then some sort of luck too.
The interior stuff we looked at with too. Our cameraman Kevin found this person that advertised on Facebook about filmmakers being able to utilize this gigantic mansion they had just purchased in Whitensville, Massachusetts. So they were renting the space for $200 a day, which was a steal. So a lot of the mansion scenes you see are that location, and then also the Barnaby Castle in Providence. We were friends with one of the event coordinator there, so we were fortunate enough to film. So the mansion scene is actually in two different spots. So it's like one of them's in the most of it's in the mansion that we went to in Whitensville, and the other part is in the Barnaby Castle in Providence.
Yeah, you guys did great.
Thank you.
So one of the major themes of this movie, because you talked about like this as being a cautionary tale. Um, the sort of arc here is one of like commitment, like shitting or getting off the pot kind of like situation. Um, what what was the driving factor in bringing that together as thematically?
Um,
It's
there
hard to answer without giving stuff away, but there's a lot going on.
yeah, there's a lot of themes we're playing with, and I think it's synthesized in a way that like works really well. I think in regards to like uh, sort of the dynamic between the two leads, I personally was like going through a breakup at the time, or just recently broke up with someone, and I think I was processing a lot of like uh, processing, I guess, like how it kind of fell apart, and I think a lot of what we're talking about is like codependency, and the pressures that um, gay culture put on relationships. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's like, at least
Yeah,
in regards to the dynamics between the two characters.
well, there's codependency on gay culture too, as this kind of this it's like kind of I guess safety numbers thing, where you're kind of losing yourself along the way. Like in this relationship is kind of like a microcosm of that as well. So
Hmm.
there's themes of that. It's themes of just kind of like gentrification of queer spaces, which is happening not just in P Town, but like any kind of prominent queer portion of major cities, and just also just kind of like almost a mental gentrification and elitism that we find in like mainstream gay culture that is for some reason celebrated. I think we've kind of been destroying ourselves because of these kind of phenomenons happening.
I think it's all like the concepts of like losing. I'm going to try to say this without like giving anything away. Like losing your identity within a relationship and sort of making losing your sense of self, but then also losing your sense of self because yeah, like a sort of hive mind culture is telling you to be a certain way, and obviously we uh, have a metaphor for that I don't want to give away.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's sort of like the two loss of identity spheres that are happening there.
you're all kind of like setting up this like Providence, New England area, um, sort of acting troupe, right? Which I kind of love, being from this area. I get to see like I my one of my girlfriends growing up, she lived in Providence, so I spent a lot of time down there as well. So like getting to see all this, like these are areas that don't normally make it to film, right? So I kind of love it. You guys are kind of like doing like the John Waters thing from like back in the day, where it's like you're all like working on like the same. You're all doing like new characters and new movies and stuff like that. And is there basically what I'm really going to ask you here is what's next? Is there more coming from all of you? I hope so because I love the films that you guys have put together so far.
Oh,
Oh,
thank
thank
you. Thank you. We
you.
really appreciate
Yeah,
that.
yeah, we appreciate that. It is a little, yeah, I do agree that it's sort of like this weird, like Baltimore John Waters troupe going on. We wrote so Saint Drogo we wrote in quarantine, like right when the pandemic started, and we wrote another script also with our troupe. It's like probably the most Providence of of the three. Like it's like very much. Death Drop was like a love letter to like the queer community in Providence, and I feel like this other one that we want to do, it's called Queen of the Rats, is like a love letter to like Providence and its like whole. So yeah, we're hoping to tackle that next. There's like a big facet of it that will require a good amount of funding, which is always the dance we have to do. But we really love that script. It's a I think a perfect mash of all the things like each of us loves. And so yeah, fingers crossed.
All right, my last question, and you guys are gonna have to dance around this one a little bit because I have to ask. Halfway through the movie, I saw a character, or well, I don't know that it's a character, or they're just playing a different role because it's very momentary that they're in the film. um, but is that the same character from Death Drop coming in?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we thought that she is this sort of being that just kind of exists in these worlds that we're creating, just like the single I don't know, some sort of it's I think it's her each time and she's just lived many lives.
I think that's perfect. Yeah, I think you picked the right character too, because
Yeah.
when I saw, it, I was like, wait a second.
Yeah.
And also
But I
too,
also did the same thing with Janet fucking Fitness. The minute Eric came out, I was like, that's Janet Fitness.
Oh, you recognize her. I feel like some people who've watched the screener thus far, and I'm like, oh yeah, that was Janet Fitness. They didn't actually know it was her. And then
that's
obviously,
in the
yeah,
seashell thing.
Myron is Gloria Hole, obviously, and so um, there's some new faces that friends of ours that are in it, but yeah, we do utilize a lot of our friends from the first movie.
No, I think that's great. I think you get something really special. I think the crowd in Salem is gonna love this when they
I'm
come to see it
excited.
on Friday. So very excited for you both, and thank you so much for talking to me today.
Well, thank
Oh,
you.
yeah, thank you for reaching out to us. We appreciate it.